manju shri ye, namo so shri ye, namo o dhamma shri ye soha, o namo manju shri ye, namo so shri ye, namo o dhamma shri ye soha, o namo manju shri ye, namo so shri ye, namo o dhamma shri ye soha. Ge chuna dai jang chu ma do da ni gyab zu chi da ge ju nye gi be co na ge zhuo la pen jie sang ge wa shui pong ni ni jie song ge zhu ge la jie jie san ze kang jie din du yu qian na pe mo ding zi jia suan de so yin de le du shu ye da le na me na la ga ni ya da ya mi出级的运动的话，运动的就是能力，可能运动能去的点东西，适当的休息，可能那个月的呀，他们定能个得的，我让个定在伊拉没嘛了，对吧？图标嘛，为其是就是sabta，但韩国的出级这个，现在这个他们需要怎么个去，这样那个月的呀，不一样的个了，但对吧？图标的就是出级这个，现在这个DC6，为了这种。是不能够是听的，因为嘛，当别个了，那就我猜了，他们那边是地方我的话，那听什么，那看到耶稣上那个经，真的原生，你个人生，不这个东西我当那个经，是的，感觉。
So we do breathing meditation. And so this is according to 7 meditative posture of Vairocana. In the sky, visualize in the sky in front of you, there sits Buddha Shakyamuni. The form is Shakyamuni, and his nature is no different from one's own real guru. He is surrounded by Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Light rays radiate together with nectar in the color of white, red, and blue. When we breathe in, we visualize we breathe in the light and nectars. And when we breathe out, we visualize all our negativities and obscurations accumulated since beginningless time come out from our body together with the out breath and vanish in the space. First 3 times, we breathe in with our right nostril and breathe out with our left nostril. And another 3 times, we breathe in with our left nostril and breathe out with our right nostril. And another 3 times, we breathe in and out with both nostrils.
더 디지털스 생체 통지 다그 친디 만나시 거린 첨부 sha다이 마마지 버지점 마시가 정지모 제가 정지지 만드는 대원대제 랑도 고로지 왕기 다 동행 바시 노원의 대가 티지점 정지지 만드는 다 대와 피수 소법되는 점으로 만들수 참바 오시스.
So next we cultivate loving kindness thinking. All sentient beings have been our mothers. Their kindness to us is exactly the same as the mothers of these lives. All mother sentient beings are exactly like oneself, wanting happiness and not wanting suffering. However, not knowing the object of abandonment and adoptions properly, we create a karma that brings forth only the result of suffering. So in your mind, think that how nice if all sentient beings have happiness, have excellent happiness.
더 등어진의 생체 대다 통지 고선 좀 문제비 총 타다가 전에 찜마로 근데 인제 공쇼스.
Next, we cultivate compassion thinking. May all sentient beings be free from undesirables such as the three doors sufferings. May they be free from all sufferings.
더 등어진의 생체 대다 통지 고아되면서 그 등아리가 또 인계를 쓸어 보는 것은 이게 내라라 보스 내라라 보자. 대디네 가서 양다고 그 상지 공부하는 그 이거든요. 그 이거를 쓸어서 양다고 그 상지를 여기 대신에 통지의 그 상지 공부하는 샤오 changes conscious.
Next, we cultivate bodhicitta thinking. Who has the responsibility to free all sentient beings from suffering? I have the responsibility to free all sentient beings from sufferings. But I do not have the ability as the perfect, complete enlightenment Buddha. Only those who have achieved the state of enlightenment have the ability to free all sentient beings from sufferings. Therefore, for the sake of all sentient beings, I want to become Buddha.
더 그런 주변에 신신체 통지지 된다 상지지 공부하다 대체로 더 장주랑지 주시는 양의 치료도 지금 사도스고 세탁쇼스.
Motivation. For the sake of all sentient beings, I want to become Buddha. For this purpose, I'm going to receive Lamrim teachings and put into practice properly.
Oh yeah, thank you. 더 간단한 데 더 장주랑이 제목 장주랑이 쓰고 된다도 들어와 장주랑이 장주에서 다 같이 주시사래 이한제 가서 냐는 지역이 도도라고도 가서 장주랑이 있어 된다데 장주에서 와데 먼저 토제 타도 들어와 토제 타도 먼저 토제 타도 와데 장주에서 들어와 토제 타도 와데 장주에서 들어와.
So these stages of the path to enlightenment, the title of this text. So it shows the important points of our practice. So the first two words, the first two syllables, 讲处. So the meaning of which is enlightenment. So that is the ultimate object of accomplishment.
더 장주스는 지난 지신의 도저 타도 받으려 가서와 야 장수와도 지난 가서 빵빵 타신인데 빵빵 타두비인데 빵빵 타신 타투버스 그들과 빵빵 장수와도 빵빵 타신인데 축수와도 또바 타두비인데 이렇게 그래서와 다 빵빵 타신인데 갈로서 빵빵 타신인데 원이 불샤는就是그래서 빵빵 타신 인데도 원이고 또바 타신이 윤디는 다 이시추고 다 노도시나 안가서 뻔바타도 참서 뻔바타도 원이고 추서 또바타도 이시추고 다 데이터야 시켜서 뭐 장주서 도저타도 돼 도저타도 뭐에서 있는 거 비제티.
So in general, when we talk about the word Jiangchu, the meaning is enlightenment. In English is enlightenment. So if we further break down these two syllables, the first syllable is Jiang. So Jiang is the quality of perfections in abandonment, quality of perfection in enlightenment, and Chu is the quality of perfection in realization. So it can be the quality of ultimate abandonment and the quality of ultimate realization. So either way, so you can say it's the quality of perfection in enlightenment or the quality of the quality of ultimate abandonment or the quality of perfection in enlightenment. So you can say in abandonment. So either way, so it means the same. So and this quality of ultimate abandonment refers to the nature truth body, and the quality of ultimate realization is the wisdom truth body. So this is the object of abandonment. This is the object of ultimate abandonment. Ultimate accomplishment.
근데 장주장 가서 저도 그것이 대막하시셨어요. 현장 가서 저에서 제대로와 당원선 이 노종 가르치고 명예 가르치셔서 장주 놀이 지금으로 보러 장주 놀이. 다 장주세 두세 놀이 세워대 된다데 그래서 장주 토자 타도 장주대 토사게 간다 깬자는 희난지 좀 받으래. 그래서 컴바 토자 송토 강은 로야라 그 깬자라 되는 로고는 시. 다 장주대 토야라 남지를 봐. 남지는 제부선들 남지는 봐. 다 랑리서는 그래서 깬자는 것이더래요. 저자 타도 장주대 토야선 토야 된 로사가 랑가티. 이래야 로야가 랑가는 거죠. 랑리서.
And the third and fourth syllable, Lamrim. So Lamrim in English is stages of the path. So in order to achieve this object of accomplishment, then we have to rely on stages of the path. So stages of the path is like a staircase to reach the ultimate accomplishment, which is enlightenment. So these stages of the path, you can also understand it as the path to the enlightenment, or you can also understand it as the stages of the path, like a staircase to the enlightenment.
당어도 되지 제법 맞이에 지연자 전서 지시가 이거 전서 지시가 있어. 그래서 노동 지역의 신발적으로 그래서 랑리 노동 지역에서는 장주 랑리 노동 지역에서는 다 장주 랑리가 된다데 모두 지시해 주고 그래서 와 지시해 주고 그러면
Okay, so this is like a reminder for all of us when we study together these types of stages of the path to enlightenment, Jiangchu Lamrim, then we have to understand the title of the text as well. So I'll continue the text. Generating respect for the teacher and the Dharma.
다 간다디 먼저 저희 용선반의 땜반지 대샤바서 제바다서 간다로와 다 삼지쪽 저희 용 젠디 디스 다 간다면서 도도시나 용 젠디 디스들이 다 삼지쪽에 되게 저희 용 젠디 디스 손바 디체나 그러와 디체나 그 존재는 이제 대샤반 제바 존재는 이제 대샤반 제가 그러시는 된다데. 다 중된데 상지 중된데지 구수도지 연된데 와 구수도지 연데 꾸인데 송인데 투지인데 와 이 희신 사무의 대량성 남발되는 정말이에요. 다 희신 너 희신 사무의 대선 양성 남발되는 비라 또 받은 주발에 제발에 세번 주발에 와 상지 중된데지 구수도지 연데서 구수도지 연데 상지 문자로 와 된디 소자 다 대리대 된디 희신 사무의 양성 남발되는 중앙 소자 된디기 취해들라 시시 진짜 소하다 내가 취해들라 진짜 소화 시시 진짜 소화 두자나지 취해라 기빠지마 제기바 nomba 딱 두자나지 취해들라 기빠지고다 세타마 담바티 로아 내가 취해라 근데 이치치는 것도 대바지바 그디티네 기빠지 지시리와 오데 단단디 월도 리리고다 데로아 단단데 두자나마 nomba 담바치고 담바 가르 담바 템바니지 대샹바선 제바다자 담바도 가르치고서나 된디 템비 투지 구순 투지 인데데 희시 사문도데 양슬람발 띠니 중앙 송자 다 된디 취에들라베 이치에다 된디 로아 대바 된디 취 사무순바보데 존데들 그바치고야 그 된디기 그바데 마 담바를 간다로와 된다 취에서 짜치모 이마 희시 사무 되는데
Second, when uttering the mother of the Buddhas, the teacher himself arranged the seat and so on. Accordingly, since the Dharma is a field of veneration even for Buddhas, one should bring to mind the excellent qualities and kindness of the Dharma and its teacher and generate respect for them. So when uttering the mother of the Buddhas, so mother of Buddhas refer to the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra, and they are the extensive, middling, and short length of Paramita, Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. So when Buddha uttering this extensive, middling, and short Perfection of Wisdom Sutra, then Buddha Shakyamuni himself arranged the seat for the teaching occasions. So from these paragraphs, it shows that all the excellent Buddha's quality of Bodhi speech and all excellent Buddha Bodhi speech and mind, a quality of a Buddha, all these arise depending on practicing the meaning, the profound meaning of Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. So all the excellent quality of Buddha Bodhi speech and mind arise in dependence on the practice, the meaning, the profound meaning of Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. So because of this, therefore, one should bring to mind the excellent qualities and kindness of the Dharma and its teacher and generate respect for them. So this is the instructions for the disciples, that you should respect the Dharma, because the Dharma is because by practicing Dharma, then there arise the good excellent quality of Bodhi speech and mind. So we should develop faith and belief in the Dharma, and then we should respect the Dharma as well by remembering its kindness and by remembering its quality.
That is the Tembanji Deshamba Zepata, China Sanjina, Kui, that China Demi, you did a gratitude to Basha, that did the Roa. That day, Kanda, China Sanjina, Kui, Hiswade, Nazo, Chue the Hishi, Samo, which Chuza, Hishi, Samo, which the Roa, and they Sanjida, Chanju Simba, Yonsu Zobagi, Kanda, Kubuchi, Hinch Chatham, the West Roa, Kubachi, the chatting the race. Davis as a Lunanji lesson, Lunanji, the one Lunanji were Dilma Soja, the one Lunanji, the Cabisons, Sanji John did not Tambi Chilla, Ubanzi, Sanji John did some Sanji Yonsu Zobagi, Tambi Chilla, that Kubachi race, Kubachi race, Judge on what is okay. Chute Lamanashi Chigres, Chute Lamanashi, so Chu, Chute Pe, Lam Timbo, Lamdo knitting Lamanashi and the Dutch of the Sugi, was the Shan, yes, of Roa, the Shantik Bachi on the Roa, what the Chigres. Indeed, Chile Sanji Naji, Sanji de la, Dan Davis Sanji, Tata Sanji, Mauba, during Sanji, the summer of Pina, Kubachi had a huge chat. Yes, that de la, and then was that Loma Dujalama, Jason Rodan. That's Sanji changes about some of the debate Kubachi was. I want to Duja Loban, Duja 남지 그 제거 다시 차대로와 그 제거 인자니 뭐 디시고 다 간다 쳐라 대바다 그 제거
Dua lungnamji sati duit do ina isha.
도 단도인도
duit.
산지기 lungnamji 도인도
And accordingly, since the Dharma is a field of veneration even for Buddhas, so this the profound sutra of perfection of the perfection of wisdom sutra, the profound perfection of wisdom sutra is even a field of veneration for Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And so don't mention we as a disciples or followers, that definitely we also have to respect the teachings as well. And in Vinaya text, it says the holy teachings is a field of merit for Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And for those arhats, they treat teachings as one's lamas. They treat teachings like one's lama. Why we say that the teaching is like one's lama is because the teachings is the one who revealed the path, the one who that shows the path to the practitioners. So therefore, arhats should treat the teachings like one's lama. So we should generate such considerations or perceptions of Dharma like one's lama. So since the Dharma is a field of veneration even for Buddhas, so here Buddha is also applicable, also referred to not only the past Buddha, not only to the current Buddha, also referred to the future Buddha as well. So Dharma is a field of veneration even for Buddhas of the 3 times. So we as a disciples, definitely we have to generate respect for the teachings.
다 된다 되게 땜바다 쳐라 정도 집어 서치 되게 된다 도도나고 시에오디 다 간다 쳐라 대바 쳐라 간다 로와 쳐라 윤디 되네 대바 집어서 간다 윤디 되네 대바 집어다 거디 되네 그거 집어서 다 상지기 베들리마 담비 쳐라 간다 윤디 되네 이 대바 집어서 네 상지 존대듯이 거기 되라더니 그거 집었어. 그거 집었어. 어다데 자우데 다 상지라 무슨 샤우데 다 수고게 라마데 게이신이데 다 간다 게이신이 짓든 비쳐야 간다 연재진에 대바 집어다. 이 게이신이라 거딘진이 그거 집었어. 어디에 추당 됨바에 대 연재진이 대바 기바다 거딘진이 그거 기바라.
So the summary of this paragraph is by remembering the quality of Dharma, we develop faith. By remembering the kindness of the Dharma, then we develop respect. So similar to the teacher as well. So teacher here refers to Buddha Shakyamuni. So by remembering the quality of Buddha Shakyamuni, then we develop faith. And by remembering the kindness of Buddha Shakyamuni, we develop respect. And here, the teachers also can also refer to one's spiritual master as well. So, by remembering the kindness and quality of one's spiritual master and the teachings that he gives, then we develop faith and respect.
So, Yundi did the Sanji Tuji be Yundi to the Teba Chebas, Yundi the Zachemoda, Sanji Tuji Kusu to Yundi Zachemoda, Karalatin Chumbaris Lang, that Dami Chi, Hishi Samu, Tentela, Nanichibatin Chumbaris, she say, Roa Yundi. And the Yundi Zachemoda, Dambi not the Latini, that kind of Chumbare. Dambi Nasa of Dikas and also Sanji Masunja, Hishi do the Imba, in Jindis, the Yusun, somebody, Shigio Imba. Oh. And the Hishi is somewhat Yamsalamba Tinishu, they can't Yundi Chadu, Sanji Kusu to Yundi. This was that Yundi and Zachembo in Dua. That Yundi the Zachemoda, that Yundi the Guinea. That did Zachembo Yundi the Hishi Summit on Yamsalamba Tinishu, they did Yundi the training, they tell about Debachiba, Debachiba.
Debachiba, Kusun Togi, and then Kusu
Yundi, they did train the Debachiba. Garajin the Debachiba. 等于原地的先行就是他们个天两是啷把等于中医被这边查的哇，我等于早全部上一张，那个对不起，的是是吧？我原地对不起吧是，那先行咱们去天两是啷把等于中医原地查的哇，我那等于原地的松张，那个是原地的天的对不起吧。
So when we remember the quality of body, speech, and mind of Buddha Shakyamuni, of Buddha, then we understand that those quality of body, speech, and mind of Buddha are very precious. And how do they arise? And how those excellent quality of body, speech, and mind of Buddha arise? These qualities are the result of practicing the profound meaning of Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. So we develop the respect and faith by remembering the quality and also the kindness of the Buddha.
他讲到各种经历，各个基本上是各种这样的问题来了各种经历各个其实各种这样的样子的了他讲到说去是吧？三级工作、去工作、文体工作是容易去都比去是这边去是按照了贴吧章的送是吧？你按照了贴吧章的送，这所说的不能弄对的送的去就是参谋了呗，贴上温度计，让你最近的阶级全部的，那三级中等的就各地天是的，是吧？说大家看起来确实那玩意贴吧不了嘛，按照贴不了嘛，确实是吧？但按照确实贴吧嘛去，确实呢，弄到个确实贴吧嘛去，那按照确实那个贴上温度计，让你最近的阶级有了吧？让你最近的阶级全部的，那三级各地呢，你全部送上，那各地天呢，各个阶是各地天的，各地天的，是吧？说确实啊，那大家看起来呗，确实早晚两处过国样嘛，是吧？国样嘛，大家看起来，但按照国吧嘛去，让你贴上公司去，全部贴，弄定的时候贴上公司，让你最近的阶级有了，那你就嘛的，那三级各地的定，就就嘛的，但各地这样的的，各地是这些，那各地真的对各个企业是，那各个企业就是的，对吧？各个企业就是的，各地天对各个企业是吧？
So previously we talked about by remembering the quality of Buddha, then we develop respect to Buddha, right? So then the quality of Buddha is the body, speech, and mind of the quality of the Buddhas, and those arise in dependence on practicing the profound meaning of Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. So that is how we remember. This is how we remember the quality of Buddha. And next is we remember the kindness of Buddha. Then we develop faith. So how do we remember the kindness of Buddha? Is the three jewels, the three jewels of Buddha, Dharma, and Sanghas, and then those teachings, the scriptural teachings that we're able to hear it. So there is scriptural teachings to be heard, and then not only we can hear the Buddha not only that we can hear the scriptural teachings, and then we can also practice it. We can also practice the teaching by listening to it, by contemplating it, and by meditating on those teachings as well. So because of this, all these that we're able to listen to the teachings, there are teachings to be listened, and there are teachings to be put into practice. All these depends on the kindness of Buddha. And there are other places, and there are some places there is no teachings to be heard. So there is no teachings to be heard. So compared to these, then I'll say that we have the opportunity to listen to the teachings, and then we can put it into practice. All these comes from the kindness of Buddha.
当我是听到设计什么的，是吧？这些报道了，刚才这些还有什么东北去了没什么？上班的主要就特别写吧是，上班的主要呢，我是记得这些报道了设计写的写到的是吧？写的了，看到这些的朋友东北的去了没几个人，这上班的主要呢也写的话，上班的主要呢有可能写吧的嘛，写吧是对的，是吧？设计写了，等的设计送吧，上班的主要就特别。去的，但上班不同的， 노디 전수 시민도래 안다 미싱아 시고도 다 동거 시에 있어.
So under this this topic, how to explain? So there are 4 divisions. Considering the advantages of explaining the Dharma and generating respect for the teacher and the Dharma. So these 2 we have already gone through, and now I'm going to explain the 3rd one. What kind of attitude and activities to explain with? And these, then first, the sutra requested by Sagaramati puts forward 5 perceptions.
Somebody did a loaded generation doing as in the Shinga Shadow, and the Shinga, the Chishingi de Rana, member of the Chinikina, Rani, never the Shichua. Chishingi, that's also been the Shisha, the member of the Shisha. Chiniki, the Kosus never even the Shisha. But Casimir wrote 100 days, also Chiniki, one the Shinasumarua. That and that the Chishingi, the Sambachi on the Rua. Oh, that Rana member of the that children made up in the heat, that children never tell in the heat, that the evil Jibutam, the Chichel in the middle of the Jesse, that in the Shinga Shandua. The content the sheet is so that as it Chisarua. Is it that Chisarua?
So what kind of attitude and activities to explain with? And under the divisions of attitude, then first, the sutra requested by Sagaramati puts forward 5 perceptions. And these 5 perceptions previously also mentions about these perceptions already. So in the context of how to listen to Dharma, then we put, then there is explanations of 6 perceptions. Here it talks about 5 perceptions. So we, I'll say being the Dharma teachers, then we should also have generate these 5 perceptions. So the perception is generating the perceptions of oneself as a doctor, of the Dharma as medicine, of the one listening to the Dharma as a patient, of the Tathagata as a holy being, and of the mode of the Dharma as abiding for a long time.
That is what the Shitare. Tankola Shamba Bombase, Tangasun the ship, Chishinki, somebody cook Waganso, Tamun the ship, not the thing would. And the Shinga did the Lakare, Nipicar Jabul. That Casimir Hirchika somebody on the Roa, somebody that can do it. Tan corpse of the bed, Chusu Chishes of the Jatla, Shamba the Ninjing about Buri, as it is Sewa Buri, Kanda. And so Tidan, Rangi, Gishini, Lama, the Lobel. Lomala, Susu Bunashi, Buddha Pumonashi, the Susu Bunashi, the Chickers, Pamanashi, Roa, Pami Puchonganashi, Jong, Roa, or Tankola Shambagoma, Shambaya, Sewa, Pamigi, Susu Chujonganashi, at the Kanda, Lomala to the Sewa, to Ninja Jong,
So regarding these 5 perceptions, so previously I already explained the meaning, so I will not go through it here again. And so on top of these 5 perceptions as a for Dharma teachers that they have to generate, then we also have to add other attitudes. So as well as the development of loving kindness toward the people around. So the additional qualities that Dharma teachers has to add is generate loving kindness and compassion towards the people around. So it's just like how parents take care of their children. So as spiritual teachers, as spiritual masters, and then we should take care of those students like how parents take care of their children.
That Gashuni Pakagwe, that tree, so the somebody Dushuni and the Shingada, Kola Shambagongo, but the Dushuni, Tinji, Susan Bangua. Apa Gagwe, the candidate, that is she. That she shared the Susu Tenda Nibode, Chima Pidla, Shambada, Ninji, the Shina, Pesi to the Shigura. That be Maiva, somebody yin total chado so, Jidang also chado sewa the Kandikil Jigo is now. Chado sewa the Rani Yundin Toa, Rani Topan Toa, Rani Kanda Hindi, Kansa Tene, Kobe, Tosan Lebach. Chado Jesade, Jida Chado Jesade, Rani Mawala Chado Jesna, also position Layoma. Chado Jesade, Rani Toa Chila, Rani Yundin Toa, Rani Garik Tolina, Longji, Garitolina Toa de Chado Jesse, did it. That can be choosing the Shini Tig, Shin Toto with Chado, Pongores, Lade, Susu Loma de la, we cheated, Shuna, Jamachi, the Kurala Shebaina, Tangali Yundi, Cochino, Mounted Tindi, Chado with Tobat, Chia Maresimo, the Cabo Resimo. There it's all in the Abumaraganda. That's Susu Pine, Chanta Shebaina, Tangarale Co Kebachana, Tangarale Co Kebachana, and Dimudusan Tindi, Tobat Lena. Ni Thomas Cabo is it. What didn't you marry? Then don't reach us a chill, no much here, Chawil. What did Susukina? Should mean the Garcia Changa Shiva or the Shiva.
So, these 5 perceptions plus the development of loving kindness is the conditions that Dharma teachers have to generate. So these are the aspect of accomplishment. So that Dharma teachers have to achieve it, and then the rest and the following is the aspect of abandonment, that Dharma teachers shouldn't have those this negative quality. Like for example, the first one is the envy born from anxiety that others become superior. So here envy also means jealousy. So the jealousy, fearing others becoming more superior, becoming superior to you. So when we give, when the Dharma teachers give teachings to others, so we should give the teachings for the sake of, for the sake of benefiting the disciples, for the sake of benefiting the students. So if we do not have this altruistic mind, wishing to benefit others, then we will when we explain Dharma, when we explain teachings to others, and if jealousy arises, so jealousy arises toward the persons is the quality is higher than us. The quality higher than us, or the realization higher than us, then we will develop jealousy towards those persons, for example, and we will not develop jealousy to the persons whose quality or realization is lesser than us. So so if we have this kind of thinking, if I explain the Dharma teachings to this particular person, and then he will reach even a higher ground than me. So if then because of this, then I don't want to explain the teachings to this person. So this is one of the things that we have to abandon, or one of the things that we have to eliminate. So this kind of thought is one of the aspects of abandonment. So for spiritual teachers, explain teachings to their students, and then they should explain the teachings, the meaning of the teachings as it is. And we should not develop any jealousy towards the disciples, or towards the students, fearing that they will become superior to us. So we should not have such jealousy. And if we were to give teachings with these kinds of attitudes, then the Dharma that you explain, and it doesn't become a pure Dharma.
Pepe susule mawa chila chegure toa chila zuwa ngajisne indi yuwa kale kabuyo rwa ta susupe mawa chila ta khurang ta ngara pe shudi reshi sansa da uchi pe tini ngaji chiyagi indi nega ngajisi wala susule mawa chila rangle mawa chila ngaji zuwa di chegure rwa ta reshi wala ngada nyamba chila chegure ta chado se wala rangle toa chila chegure o jedang da budusi
So talking about this jealousy, so jealousy develops towards others who is superior to us. So it could be superior in terms of the quality, in terms of realizations, or in terms of wealth. So to those persons who are superior to us, then we develop jealousy. And we develop competitiveness as well. So the mind wanting to compete with others. So mind of competitiveness. So we develop these attitudes towards others whose quality is similar to us, is equal to us. So in terms, it could be quality, or it could be realizations, or it could be wealth as well. So to those whose quality equal to us, then we develop the mind wanting to compete with them. So we want to become superior to them. We want to become better than them. Then this is how the mind of competitiveness is developed. And the third type of attitude is pride. So we also develop pride. We develop pride towards those whose quality or whose realizations and whose wealth is inferior to us. So we feel pride over people whose quality, realizations, and wealth is inferior to us. Then we think that, oh, I'm so good. I'm so much better than you. So and we develop pride towards people whose quality is inferior to us.
他对这个需求级别的是吧？当然是需求级别的咯，我怎么说？但是把高手讲价的是吧？把高手讲价的，现在都差多的是高的是，这需求级别的都是高的是，特别老马这里呀，确实是来采集了，让我这里有个嘛的上年些个，让上年有个嘛哪年些个，但等这个出菜嘛讲多，出菜的你嘛讲多，你嘛上年哪年，你呢经常嘛接单。 他经常的打嘛接单，你天天老嘛接单，我但等这些呢，他这个用嘛看的，那老嘛了，打升级对呀了，升级片了，你必须说个超越嘛，我但等这个需求来了的话，是说个这些就了吧，你不写这个就不也是嘛，是吧？
And the laziness of putting things off, and this is the second attitude that belongs to the aspect of abandonment. So we shouldn't have this attitude, which is the laziness of putting things off. In other words, is laziness of procrastination, that we always postpone. So when it comes to teachings, for the welfare of the disciples, for the sake of taming the mind of the disciples, and if we as a Dharma teachers, under the influence of this laziness of procrastination, then we postponed our actions of benefiting them. Like, for example, you're supposed to give teachings today, this hour, then you postpone it to next hour, to an hour later, then again you postpone it to next day, and then you again postpone it to next week, to next month, and then to next year. So we postpone, and if you are under the power of this laziness of procrastinations, then it delays our actions of benefiting and taming the minds of the disciples, and this is not excellent.
他确实个看到去给新的给新的需求起来了，搞不完东西，他老么个这个搞不。 老马上去，他老马也被这里切的上，这里嘛就上里切的上，要上里路中心，上里嘛就哪里些，要把需求，把讲到，出这呢，要对些你们的顶上的打完的，落了当完的，那老马了去切，国家有嘛的事，这国家哪个的事，国家上边哪个有的是吧？哦，他以前的老马那个的需求起来了的帮我，看到。
So this laziness of procrastination is not only applicable to the Dharma teachers, it also applicable to the students itself, the disciples as well. So if from the student side, then we also have to abandon this laziness, this type of laziness as well. So otherwise, if we postpone our studies, postpone our Dharma studies, and postpone our Dharma practice. So I suppose to do this study and practice this hour, then I again postpone it an hour later, to next day, to next week, to next month, to next year, then at the end, then we will lose the opportunity to study, and then we will lose the opportunity to practice as well. So this quality, this negative quality is also something for the disciples to be abandoned as well, to abandon as well.
That age la yan chi ngai chua si lo do. Ta pe gigin so ke na lo ma pe chi sha la pa sem ba shi ne ka le khan do kha bo. Pe nga thang chi de so da lo chi. Ka di na tri she ge na thang chi sa sa ni she ge na thang chi si sa da shi. De ni pe ka le kha bo chang chang ji sang ta di na. Ta din ji ma ri se wo. Pe la sa nan da ko ne ka da ma zu chi shi bi ka la ma zu di shu yin ba. Ka si ma so chi shen ke na ne ke na pa shi to ge nyang le gi sim bi to ne so 최년 계라 년마다 신기게 파시두고 냐는 심부터는 시기와 디커스니 시사이와 년다 어디시서 선자 다 최신기이나 파시두고 냐는 심부터는 최시우디 다양 집에 나이 좋아도 마파나 다 파시두고 냐는 심부가 뭐 손두기냐 수비기냐네 수비냐네 다달레두고 뭐 최시비가라 수비냐네서 와대 가서베 리신라 간의 컨디션이나 텔레파 세투바 알리제토바
쇠바다 준주래.
쇠바 쇠비레고 쇠바데 쇠비냐네 쇠바들라 소소비 취시비가라 에 리신라 간이 템비초바나 텔레 쇠투바지 구르와 텔레 쇠 동네치네 에 담들레네 셰바지 오 데구와 선사 다 야야 집에 나이 좋아 지데바이나 다 취시비가라 파시동이 나네 있으고 쇠비냐네 있으고 말이야 와 쇠비냐네 있으고 말이야 좋아서네 지 춘주지 깔리 정말이나 앞에 용사 말에 야 간디 정말이나 릴앞에 춘주지 깔리 세라 춘비지 강에 정말이나 랑사베 좋아지야 들파 당들이 동에들 당들이 맞도이나 다든 지고마 취시게 가서 파시도 냐내기 수비 냐내기 생동거 말 취시게 되나 다 좋아도 까고 했다.
So we also have to abandon the discouragements of fatigue due to explaining things over and over again. So for teachers to explain, to give Dharma teachings to the disciples, then we should we should have the patience bearing the hardships of explaining things again and again. So otherwise, if as a Dharma teachers, then we feel tired or feel tired of explaining things again and again. Like for example, today I feel tired to explain to you. Then the next day, we also feel tired to explain the meaning to the students. Then this is not a correct altruistic attitude to give teachings to the disciples. So this previously also mentions that when we listen to Dharma teachings, then we have to conjoin our listening to Dharma with the practice of 6 perfections, right? So this also applicable to explaining the Dharma as well. So when we listen to Dharma and when we explain the Dharma teachings, and then we should conjoin it with the practice of 6 perfections. So if we do not abandon this negative quality, the discouragement of fatigue, due to explaining things over and over again. So if we do not abandon this quality and under the control of this negative quality, then we do not conjoin our actions of explaining Dharma with the practice of 6 perfections anymore. So in the practice of 6 perfections, one of it is the practice of patience, right? So practice of patience, one of the meaning is we have to bear the hardships when we practice Dharma, when we listen Dharma, when we listen to Dharma, when we explain the Dharma as well. So if we under the control of this discouragement, then we do not conjoin our explaining Dharma with the practice of patience. So our physical, whenever the physical, when our physical facing some hardships, or when our mental facing some hardships, then we should embrace those hardships for the sake of the Dharma.
남서 좋아지는 상샤가 뭐였어. 와, 남서 좋아지는 상샤가 있나? 근데 나서 파신도 최년배가 파신도 많이 있습니다. 어떤다 지발에 최바보는 치비가서 뭐로 최년바보는 예비가서 양 예비가서 잡고.
So these discouragements of fatigue due to explaining things over and over again. So this is also applicable to the students also, right? So how say it will change the wording as it will change the wording. So the discouragement of fatigue due to listening things over and over again. So listening to teachings over and over again. So we as a listener, then we also have to abandon the weariness or the tiredness of listening to Dharma teachings again and again. So we should embrace the hardships of listening to Dharma teachings again and again, be it physical or mental. So otherwise, if we are under the control of this negative quality, then we do not conjoin our listening to Dharma with the practice of patience anymore. So we should not just face any physical or mental hardships and we immediately stop listening or explaining the teaching. So we should not do that. We should embrace the hardships when we listen to teachings again and again.
지루벨로 샤왕이 말을 힘들어서 그와 나도 소리로 단다디 양치는 아이 좋아데 지루벨로 하는 거 지루벨로서 간다도 간디스나 배 로존 지기지나 배 타치는 아 지윤제 삼마 니용 삼마 dakali 카우 타치고 수고 땡이 모두 게 강은 두세 니 장장 시대 보이나 다취 시야기 고가 취니야 고가 삼마 어디네 두시베 라는 좋아 예 고가도 배 라고 해서 수수 년리치에 취 년리치 고가도 라는 이 간다 취취바 보라 간다 지루빌레라는 거래 취니마 보이나 지루빌레라는 거고
this laziness of putting these off. So this is one of the 3 types of laziness. So laziness of procrastinations, and the discouragement of fatigue due to explaining things over and over again. And this is also one type of laziness as well, and that is the laziness of low self-esteem, the laziness of low self-esteem, or the laziness of lacking of self-confidence. So there are 3 types of laziness. This one is one of it, the laziness of procrastination, and this one shows another type of laziness, the laziness of low self-esteem, and another type of laziness is laziness attaching to negativities, laziness of grasping negativities. So these 3 types of laziness we also have to abandon, and when we talk about this, the second type of laziness, the laziness of low self-esteem, we also have to abandon it. Otherwise, if we keep complaining, keep whining about the difficulty and the hardships that I face when I listen to Dharma or explain the Dharma, then you will accomplish nothing, and then at the end you will lose the opportunity to practice Dharma.
다들 간다 이제 레로데 들어와 지루빌레너스 지루빌레너스 다 지루빌레너스는 가서 리기 난주 되나지를 와 가서 배 엔디나시레 가서 드레켈로 자치고 도부지 달로 파샤네 다치런데 추스지라 디달로라 쿠레 그래서 데스나 스네 답에 세바 조도하고 두스 제우라 다디 가요 사마네 사세 돈바코는 좋았다네 수고그런 좋았다네 두스는 파치에 들이 제대로 지고 들어와 이 추스지라 장고서 가스네 두스 제우라 다 저는 로좀제 냐네 두바 냐네 제스나 이거마세 디나시 디치야 요마 이 제바이나 다 지르빌레 노스 디레 대단하 와 땡땡 하는 거 내가 저 두스
So this the second type of laziness, the laziness of low self-esteem, is something like, it even shows on our face as well. It shows on our appearance as well. Like, for example, if someone asks you to carry a bag of rice, a bag of 100 kgs rice on your back for 1 hour, so then immediately, your facial expressions will change, right? You change your face, and then your mind also suddenly dropped. How can I do that? You even express it, and then your mind also think that way, and then you also change your facial expressions as well. So similar to this. So if when come to when come to the occasions of listening to Dharma and explaining the Dharma, and if you have such changes in your facial expressions, in your way of thinking, and in your you also express it, then then we are under the control of the laziness of low self-esteem already. So, and we should abandon such laziness as well. Otherwise, then our time will be wasted, and at the end, our whole human life will be wasted. So these types of laziness, so also is applicable not only to the Dharma teachers, also applicable to the Dharma listeners as well. So the third types of laziness is laziness of attaching to negativities, negative actions or misdeeds. So this third type of laziness is very bad, and we also have to be very careful with it as well. So make sure that we are not under the control of this type of laziness. Like, for example, those gambler. So as we go to Genting Island, and then we go to casino, and then we start to gamble, right? Then we spend our time day and night there. Then we spend all our time there. Then we, since we spending most of our times in gambling, then we do not do what we're supposed to do. So, like, for example, housework, we also we don't do the housework, and then we're supposed to practice, and because of this gambling, then we do not practice, and then we do, of course, then we also do not do anything that will benefit these lives and will benefit the future lives as well, because of all these misdeeds such as gambling. And if we spend a long time in those negative actions such as gambling, then it will also cause disharmonious in our family, also cause disharmony between friends and between couples as well. So this is something that we have to be very careful. And all these are the faults of those negativities. So we must recognize what type of what faults that this misdeed will bring. So those are the possible faults that those misdeed will bring, and then we have to recognize it, and then we have to make sure we are free of these types of laziness as well.
That the reasons are that the sort of that's also supposed to trade national level. The James during
So we have to be very careful with it, and even the third type of laziness will even harm our health, our physical health as well, because of spending a long time in the misdeeds such as gambling.
That the Jela, Danny do change general upon us. That be true she because social petera, Guba Jose member social petera, you did should you? There, Roa, she's a Loma Kangala, Junjanga, she was in. I didn't dig my reservoir. Dig out his way. That around the indigenous Guba Jose that did between it, the indigenous, the Jichuris, Juguachilis, or the Loma de la Canda, Guba Jose between the Junja where the Junjaburis. Also, Casuma Shimba, Montoa said, indigenous Lami in the Chichis or Montoa, so Chishima, in the Shiver, because you said it. Montoa said, so Lamagi, Gigi, Duja Loma de la Churangu, June do, June the Pop, Togundu, the Martin and Jigu to June the legend to Wisdom, June the one day. This was Lama trial, Maresigo, that she said, she said, that the cutting, Yankee Livudo, the one of Livudo, one the Dani, Susula Pena, Guba Jensen, Batakanda, indigenous to Yomari. Or Guba Jensina and Nipa Jemor. Lomagala, Guba Jensen, and Jane Leamor. Guba Jensen, you want to Jane Level, but we did it.
And next, negative quality is praising oneself and talking about other faults. So when we explain for Dharma teachers, when they explain teachings, then without any without any necessary reason, without any reason and necessities, then they just praise oneself and they criticize those students, and this is not this is something that we have to abandon as well. And in the contrary, if there is reason to do so, and if it's necessarily to do so, then for Dharma teachers, then they are allowed to do that, as it be it praising oneself or criticizing or listing the faults, or as it pointing out the faults in the disciples, and they need to do so as well. So in order to point out the faults in the disciples and telling them, oh, this is a fault, and then you should abandon. So you you see the reason to do so, and you see the reason to do so, and as a Dharma teachers, they should do that, point out the faults in the disciples for them to correct it. And previously, we also talked about one of the quality is not getting angry at the teachers. So even if the disciples' faults is being pointed out by the teachers, and from the student side, they should not get angry at the teachers as well. So this is related to the point that I previously mentioned.
Tekanda Guba Jesse and about Loma ship or the Mashiba, Susuke, Senana, which is your Chile Pichiship, always the Dua, or the thing about the Lomatela, Jihichi, drink the ship, Didishi ship, the Loma Teshigama, this ship, yes, this energy, yes, this energy, a cow, that someone got shoot on that.
So another negative quality that we have to abandon is the reluctance to learn texts about the Dharma. So reluctant to learn Dharma texts, or in other words, is reluctant to share Dharma knowledge. So if a Dharma teachers, out of miserliness, they don't want to share the Dharma knowledge with the students, with the disciples, and then this is also something this is one of the quality that it has to be abandoned. So we should explain the teachings, the Dharma knowledge, the meaning of the teachings to the students according to our own knowledge. So it depends on if there is a reason. When it comes to Dharma knowledge, then it depends on the students. Then you could explain the teachings in the extensive manner. You could also explain the teachings in the middling manner. You also can explain the teachings in the lesser, in summarized manner as well, in summary form as well. So depends on the disciples. Then we give we explain teachings accordingly, and then we should not hold back the Dharma knowledge and not share it with the disciples. Again, the next negative quality that we have to abandon is, as well as concern for material things such as food and clothing should be abandoned. So when we give Dharma teachings, we also have to abandon concern for material things such as food and clothing and fame and respect. And previously, I also mentioned about this already. In Abhidhamma, it says that when we give teachings, and we should give free of mental afflictions. So this is related to that point as well. And we should not have any concern for the fame, respect, and material gains such as gifts and etc. So if we were to give the gift of teaching, if we were to give teachings, concerning for those things and respect and etc., then our motivations, our mind is under the is afflicted by those afflictions already. So what kind of thoughts or what kind of motivations that we should have when we give teachings? Then it continue to say, thinking those very merits from teaching for the sake of my own and others' enlightenment are the provisions of my happiness. So the merits accumulated through giving teachings, then those are the provisions or the source of my happiness, and there is nothing greater than this. There's nothing greater than this. So we should have this thought. And sorry, Kongda. And this is also applicable to the students as well. So I say when we talk about we as a listener to the Dharma teachings, then we also have to listen to it free of the three faults of the vessel, right? Three faults of the vessel. So this point also related to that as well. So we should listen to teachings without afflictions.
去了必须写个方法，但谁给老师吧？就是大话的方法，就是怎么帮米团这个的去写了，就是不认识我，是吧？但你是什么？
Yeah, so this is the attitude that we should have when we give Dharma teachings to others. So this first paragraph talks about the aspect of accomplishment, and the second paragraph talks about the aspect of abandonment. So first, the sutra requested by Sakaramati, then we have to generate these 5 perceptions, and then we also have to develop loving kindness towards the people around. So these are the aspects of accomplishment, or the conducive conditions for giving teachings to others. And the second paragraph talks about the unconducive conditions for giving teachings to others. So here listed, so the envy born from anxiety that others become superior, the laziness of putting things off, the discouragement of fatigue due to explaining things over and over again, and without any reason, then praise oneself and talking about others' faults, and the reluctance to lend texts about the Dharma, as well as concern for the material things. So these are the unconducive conditions for giving Dharma teachings, and that we should abandon.
当然这上班的就你上班的学者，但就的学是吧？但就可能辛苦的就的吧？但上路当的都是去是吧？上路当的都是去上班的地区，但就的呢，确实的长大的点的，跟长嘛看过也是，但少数长些东西是吧？少数是对确实出的点了，看的，但我说但确实不了他嘛，我说但的我来接来学是吧？接来学当我看到。 去学长大的地方就不认识我，大看到是吧？但去先看一难的，去年看一难的，这当俺说去学比干了，去年学比干了俺说独落咱们举报他，就是个我的长大这个去学这个少数的咱们说过，他不是昨天就是咱们说过，这的俺说他看到这里学校上几个去了，学校的准备去吧别的学校的，是吧？ 学校的那个老师的强威，你说啥？他讲的密码老师吧，他的忙不进去，所以讲有个是吧？他高学历老师忙不进去的，你高学历老师被长了全部学习是吧？我跟你说啥？他就是你把顾问的说，去西部干的一样的，去南京一样的，看到叔叔的都是张望州，我都去不过的。
So the attitude is the way of thinking. And now we come to the second one, activities. So activities is behavior or conduct. So it says, second, having washed and dressed in immaculately clean clothes, you sit down in a clean and pleasant place on a cushion on a Dharma throne. So here, it talks about whether a Dharma teachers or Dharma listeners, then we have to bathe ourselves clean and then put on clean clothes and then to give teachings or to listen to teachings. And we also have to make sure the environment of the teaching site. We also have to make sure the teaching site is clean as well. And together with those representations of body, speech, and mind, make sure it is clean as well. And if we do so, bathe ourselves clean, put on clean clothes, make sure the environment and the representations of body, speech, and mind clean, then this is one of the way to show respect to the Dharma. And then this also becomes the offerings of practice as well. And when the teaching, teaching is held, and not only the human beings, I'll say we as disciples listening to the teachings, and those beings such as God on the wise side, and then they will come to the teaching side to listen to the teachings as well, and they put a lot of they focus a lot on the hygiene as well. So I'll say we should make sure the teaching side clean as well.
这样我这个去是长到地方是去的了，我说。 去去，哪个去？是吧？去哪个的？商业去，也可能你就是去西，你个看到去西的些是吧？去西的西去，哪个去？商业去，也可能你去是，都是西的话，他等到西去的，等到你看到西不对了， rangi yana kambata labata suboda dombada shiri la subo jiba jiwa su shi chiwa da shi ba rangi yana a kamba laba subo su chiba da shi chi da rangi gi dulo zamasa su shi chi da chi shi sa de sa shu de zamasa是这么细致什么的，是吧？那个写的，那这些个长大的点把子是细致的，那你写是吧？那么的，但这个写那么的细致什么的，不是，细致，两个字，也可能商业字也可能去写，
So having washed and dressed in immaculate clean clothes. So these, I'll say, when we talk about bathe ourselves well, or it talks about cleaning well, or in other words, is purity. So washing. So I would for now I will use the word washing first. So washing. So these kinds of washings, there are 4 different types of washing. So the first one is external washing. The second type is internal washing. And the third one is secret washing. And the fourth one is suchness washing. Suchness washing. So the words on the text, having washed and dressed in immaculate clean clothes, then you see in a clean and pleasant place. Then here is the example of the external washing. So the external washing. So washing your bodies, washing your hands and legs, washing your face with a clean bodies, and you bathe yourself well, then you attend the teachings or give teachings and put on clean clothes or make sure the environment, the teaching site is clean. So all these are the external washing.
但是这个多少个就是话，但哪个提说的，当我是第二点的，所以说的，我第八啥事不做了呗，年不多心里头呢，但第八了下动起来的，第八了下动起来的话，啥心里头吧的，啥心里头吧的，忙不了啥半句，就是什么，第八个没有的，是把改呀的，的年不多心里头呢，都让个第八了下动起来的，的话，哪个提？
And the second type is internal washing. So internal washing is to wash, to wash or to purify our previously accumulated impurities. So those negativities, those obscurations. So we purified it with the 4 opponent powers. So that is internal washing.
但年不多系统的，第八了下动介绍的，他这当原本也得好过的。 啊，开始呀马丁白呢，都我儿子什么学的话，年不多许多的，下动介绍的，我说记了对吧？就我猜了，他们把等到把对吧，忙不杀菜是吧？对吧？杀菜的，有啊，杀成就有了，对吧？忙不杀就有了是吧？但对吧？杀成就看看的，我说，确实得了年不的下动马进呢，差嘛点点了嘛都，可没把钱去要买的看的，是吧？你说啥？ 但年不多些的下动介绍，年不多些的，那么升级的多，年不更多级的多，年不拉的多，等级多是，都是那么升级的多，年不更多级的多，年不更多级的多，年不拉的多，等级多，等级多是，等级多看对门的那个，我估计就对，那个都是方面这些是吧？这就是等到嘛，逻辑学，要等到看到根本嘛都现在样地些，这嘛是好嘛不一样呢，是吧？
So regarding that, we have to purify our negativities and obscurations previously accumulated. Then we have to apply the 4 opponent powers in order to purify those negativities. So regarding these 4 opponent powers, then I have mentioned many times in the past already. So definitely those seniors ones, they will know about it. And so for the and however among us, then they are students who are newcomers, and then they probably do not know what these 4 opponent powers are. So I will just I will go through it briefly. And so since beginningless time, we accumulated I say numberless of negativities, and at the same time we also accumulated numberless virtuous actions as well since beginningless time. And for those negativities that we have accumulated since beginningless time, and it will just remain it will stay there, and then it will ripen one day. So if we do not apply four opponent powers to purify it, and then it will just stay there, and then one day it will ripen, and then it will bring forth the result of sufferings. And therefore, we have to apply four opponent powers. So what these four opponent powers are, and the first one is the power of regret. The second one is the power of remedy. The third one is the power of refrain. And the last one is the power of reliance. So these are the four opponent powers. So I repeat: power of regret, first one; power of remedy; power of refrain; power of reliance.
number sinji to so tambo 들어와. number sinji to the kitchen 부시 다 쳐보래. number sinji to the 야구 제바나 대신 내기야. 이거는 이거 쳐. 와. number sinji to so dire 수술 그냥 나사비 디버스는 제바 잡고치야. 다 수술 코바나노 예 돈으로 받아 하고 봐이나. 다 돈들 매지 마시나 수술 때 시에니마다 수술 내서 두제 영향이 따뜻해 같이 타쳐 봐는 수술 선제 이후로 와. 다 코바나노 돈으로 사나. 답에 두대 봐 매봐 써야게. 세기 두대 매봐 써야게. 다 매때 감다다 마시 봐이나. 따뜻하게 수술 예 시기를 되네. 그 선제 이후로 와. 선제 이후로 와. 다 대화 나지 넘버 신지 도서 다 수수 지원 아마네 새로 마무리 다다바데 디파 마무리 사차리스 다디 사차바데 수수기 양 샤도 마제바 님보 도시더니 마종바 이나 딱화 대가로 되래 콜란 제분 땡땡미야 레스콘 제분들와 주다 제 상만 상우디 제분도 땡땡이 열다 제분 땡땡이 다디 제분도 마미야리 아 수수기 데 파샤돈 쳐다 간다 다디 지금 뭐도서 제바 잡이 코보는 두시바나시 다수서 제왕가마라 이 마부시 사사리 있으면 제바 잡지야 돼 넘버 신지 도서 들에 제바 잡고도 마시바이나 샤도도 제도고 말와 나 당보들에 넘버 신지 도도 코보는 두시바나시 제바나시 신지바나시 다 딜로 나사 디퍼서 마부시 사사리 다 님보 도시 마티니 샤도 마시바나 제비 땡땡 제보다 용해지 레레 용해지 레서와들라 콘제비 미고레 와 용하게 빈제보 오딘디 에차다 순자 던지버 잡지야 되리 담보 또 담보디.
So the first power, the power of regret, is very important. And if we have the first power of regret, then the others, the rest of the powers, they will come, and then the rest of the powers will become, we have greater strength as well. And those negativities that we have accumulated since beginningless time, then we regret those negativities that we have done in the past. So we have this strong regret, the things that we have done in the past. So it's just like by mistake, then we swallow poisons, then we will be very worried, right? Because if I don't do these poisons that I by mistake swallowed, then it will cause a lot of pain in me, and then it will even take my life as well. So we should have such regret of swallowing those poisons. And so those negativities that we have accumulated since beginningless time, and if we do not purify it by the means of four opponent powers, then it will just stay there. It will not disappear by itself. It will stay there, and when it comes to when it meets with its conditions, then it will definitely bring forth the results of sufferings. And because those are as negativities that we have done in the past, and for those karma, its result has definitely to be ripened. And since it is such type of karma, then definitely it will bring forth the result of sufferings when it meets with its conditions. So if we do not want those negativities to ripen, and we want to abandon it, and then therefore we should purify it by the means of four opponent powers.
that's machine to so the Katula, and that ding also Nemotoshi machine didn't do a challenge. Mamuji, this summer. But the reasons are then number CG to Sarnazo, Jeba Tabuchi, didn't Jeba Tabuchi by now, then appear and Jebukar do towards now. Jeba Tabuchi, deeper yan Pentro chambers, deeper than also Jeba, Jesha Machibaina, deeper the ya, Pedro Kanda, deeper Chunchuka Kanda, Inaya, Rimbagia, Shah Railin, Rimba Pedro, Yan Pedro. And Jeba Tabuchi by the Toji, deeper Pentro chambers. Deeper Pentro Cheba Mazing also, Tribunal, New Dindigin Jebuse, Jebute, Mammy and Tabu, New Dindigin Debo, New Dindigin Debo. New Dindigin Jebuse or the country years in the New Dindigin Jebuse or the Roa. So Serongamala, Roa, Serongamala, Shena, So Joyata, Shane, Sering what they are, Roba Chebata, Roa, So Joya, the dealers about Robashiba in Djibouti, so with Sendela, so selling what they are, get a patch never. Or the DGP of a year. Or no division business, the digital or the digital way. Yeah, and that the new division to so I did Magich and she would draw. Not and another no division with the gauge and she would away. And no division deputas or the Jiwangamana, so Chebata, and laying about the discharge of Yimina. That's it. So the Jebit Mammy again, and Jebit Jones with the Essel, or no division with the Essel. The Jiwangamala to some other. Lemon was outside the roa. That's it. Sitting what they are, sit once about Johnny Roa, sit one that get up watching Mamma, so about do to the Essel. So, number Sinji thought him, anybody.
那么顺便被读的用佢轉記這部地睇
哦，用這個，對了，台印度啊，地比跟偏出去吧呀，偏出的出去吧是，上去吧是我話，地比偏出去吧，呀，偏出嘛嘞是，等你就把這些的，地把點偏過嘛嘞，就把嘛就呢，我就地把上啊，你說是搞搞白呢，那地把人家多錢多個咯，人家多錢多個咯，
你把同步地把地偏出去啊，
偏出去，你這個這個。number 3多的，你把的，上头当买呢，你就把找个接班呢，地把的也偏出去，也偏了，我说地把的下多嘛就你哎偏了过去，春秋进来哎小很多的，忙不你把钱了过，我的地比偏出去，这个大鸡蛋，但你往这里这个大你，是吧？但你往这里这个的给这个的，给这个你是一帮的，是吧？但我说大家怎么给这个的，是吧
？Yeah, since these four opponent powers is very much related to our daily practices. So it is important to explain it. So when it is important to have this to generate these four opponent powers, and then the first one is the power of regret. So by having a strong regret, then this will stop the multiplications of our negativities. So if we we accumulate negativities, and if we do not do anything about it, and it will multiply itself day by day. So then from a small negativities, then it will become a great negativities. So by having a strong regret, the negativities that we have done, then it will stop those negativities that we have accumulated from multiplying. So this is one of the benefits, or the strength of having a strong regret. And the second one is by having strong regrets, the negativities that we have done in the past, and it will purify results similar to the experience. And there are few types of results, and this is one of the result from a cause would bring. And it will purify the results similar to the experience. And what is this result similar to the experience? So it can be from the it can be the virtuous one, or it can be the non-virtuous one. Like for example, the virtuous one is if we offer help to others, so help them to have a good to live long and etc. We provide assistance for others in terms of health, or in terms of helping them to live longer. Then because of these virtuous actions, and the result, one of the result that it will bring from these actions is we will have long life in the future, and then in our life we'll have without any obstacles in our future lives. So this is one of the example to illustrate the result similar to the experience. So if we help others in terms of health or help them to live longer, then in future, then when we will experience the result of these actions is, for example, oneself will have long life and then have without any obstacles in our life. So this is from the virtuous side, and for the non-virtuous side, if we were to create a negative karma in the past, like for example, doing a lot of killing and etc., then the result similar to the experience that we will experience in the future is we will have shorter lifespan, and then we will have a lot of obstacles and hindrances in our life. So this is the example to illustrate results similar to the experience. So by having a strong regret, so it will purify the results similar to the experience.
어디 참아서 다 드린 디마지를 두어 그냥 디시신산 두어 어디 것도 디지 집에 시야도 맞아 나지 소환은 앞에 왜니서 소소 많이 제가 어디 따는 거 나다 제가 장자리도 와 어디 신사 어디 디지 집에 시야 있어 근데 디 맞아 취들의 시대 제마 진짜 제마도 시야 있어 디지 맞아 개체모를 해서 개체모를 에디서 이제 제마도 시켜 보시다 생각도 와 디지
Yeah. So since this four abundant powers is also related to the point that we are discussing, so regarding the washings, there are 4 types of washings. So since this is related, then also, and I today I do not have much time to explain it. Because now is the time for question and answers already. So I will stop here, and in next class, then I will explain it further. So these 4 abundant powers, these 4 types of washings are important, and since it's related to us, and it's something for us to be put into practice as well. So I will explain it further in next class. So I will stop here for question and answer.
Good evening, Gishla. Good evening, Ken. Coming to the subject of generating respect for a teacher, I understand I attended a teaching recently by Rinpoche, where Rinpoche said that we should not only venerate our current or our immediate past Dharma teachers, but we also have to venerate even the teacher who taught us the alphabet. Because without knowing the alphabet, we would have no knowledge of language, and without the knowledge of language, then you will not understand Dharma. If that is applied currently to the generating of respect, then by not having paid respect to that teacher who taught us the alphabet, is that a gross misdeed?
So. Tana di kasa chuma wala di tana temba ro di chu shinge di yang di rimdo de kigo ro kuwa de chiores yang di rimbuchi gi sungchu nang lo di sumare ini ngangzo gi kasa chu shusa di kuwa chiores di mase yang kaka chinge gi gegen la yang di kuwa chiores di kuwa kaisina kaka 기기겐 디 각하데 마치와이나 에는 강조 가사 게이디 하고기 말어 각하데 하마고나 게이디 하고기 말에 있는 게이디 하마고나 에는 강조 디추 신기 말레스 에디 디 인상 게싱 강조 각하 치 가사 치베 기겐 디 구샤 마치와이나 양디 녜바르스
그 딩원에 대해서 지금 무슨 하러 그랬어. 와. 대중이 지나가서 뜸바다 이바가 이루어져야 뜸바다 dealer masi susugi gigi chebres tinyam the shusarwa tinyam shimba that day kubachi the money sachin to cheat share lama de and the cheat sachin in mamazi this also the gigi to sachin dealer kubachi is that gigi la kubo mazing of the chidang to choosing chudo condition at the kubachi wala de as a lama chiting lama ting so chidang choosing the chudo to book condition so the kubachi the kitchen is did the artist
lama ting
lama ting kubachi
kubachi
and the decas was giving kitchen the giving the kubachi way here
다른 지가가 ting인기 기계 나 이가 아니 kubachi 뭐라
the kakao chile gigi so gigi chale gigi mazi chudo la kubachi is gigi the achanja chudo gina kubachi chushi chudo
Yeah, that is correct. What Rinpoche said is correct. So not only that we have to generate a respect for the teacher in that context. It particularly refers to Buddha Shakyamuni. So on top of that, we also have to respect the teachers as well. So teachers such as the example that you mentioned just now, the teachers who teach us alphabets. So even Dharma friends, our Dharma friends, we also have to respect. So we have to respect them, and not necessary that we have to regard those teachers who taught us alphabets as lamas. However, definitely we have to respect them.
Thank you.
Geshe-la, I would like to ask, just now you were explaining about the external washing. To us, is a respect to cleanse everything, before even we present any offering to the Buddha, like also, going into teaching. But in Buddha eyes, since he has enlightened, I think in Buddha eyes, everything will be flawless. And only we human being see it as a respect. So I believe not all people have the luxury to have clean water or clean food, or even have the luxury to bathe. Example, people like beggars, or living in rural areas. So how do Geshe-la explain in that aspect?
Yeah, any the two Geshe-la ye two the same ba, any the chi two set the any on so the zangma soya dan tu lo zangma koi ma de ro Geshe-la, any the on so chuba ma pyu me la, any the chuba the zangma so che, any the kusha ten dang ji res, yine kasa the sangye gi chani siwai na, sangye gi chani siwai na, any the sangye wa ro Geshe-la. Kasa sangye ne any the zang kasa chu kangin ba de yang zangma de 통기 요래 마도 any the 조보 de 통기 마로as yeah kasa 남초기 차네 시야 de any the zangma ina any the kushat 대야 지레 마도 any the sangye gi chane siwaina de 케바 자본데 요 마로와 간시나 상기 강시바 대양 내 zangma 장경 요레스 이니 the zangma 수요바티 내가 둘로 장마 그바티 장마 미창마니 대낭신 제도 말스 베나 차샤나 강조디 최윤 퓨듀야나 데 칼라 퓨듀니 디 장마 데 퓨어로 네 베나 차샤나 디 가사디 롱년다고 롱년다고 이나 공조 벤조교고 다고 이나 공조 디 둘로 장마야나 데 칼라 추유라고 네 디 장마 퓨투 말와스 any Geshe-la the chani controller any the chi chu de any the jishe khande kyabyo nas
to devare ngazo dabar hanja se ngazo cheda ngazo sanji ki dabar hanja se kandi na mai na pe saya thya kandi na sama pe ro sama ma to sama ke thaya ma ti chara lo ta ro res ro chara lo ta res ta ngazo pe na tendi ki chu duba ge shini la so so 去두바 년에 지역 관리지나 상다 지역의 개체모 처리를 빼샤가이나 파바 토맥이 지지 샤망은 뭐 노종이 두거랬어. 노종이 파바 토맥이 지지 샤망 노종이 두거래 지지 샤망에 빼 노종이 제일 맞아 파바 토맥이 지지 샤망 만지비 샤 만지비 그 만지디 시우 현재 가라 파바 토맥에 빼 지지 샤망을 빼 유파도니 내가 노종이 좀 달라봐도 현재 맞았어. 그 해 만지고 말해 나처 대야 니마 담보니 손대 나가 열어서 잡으되는 열이 저런 상다 내가 칼리다 참아서 이 아니면 받아 참아치는 마지막 덴디지 제바이나 레지 디바 다 두고 레지 디바 마다나 야시 망고 문제도 말해 디바 마다서 문제도 말했어 이 저한테 상다지 무슨 무슨 말이지 레지 디바 나서 나지 취취하라 상다 티디 제가 개천버리 그래서 변조 메고 시대 메고 쓰이나 나서 도로만 장마 취하다 나서 장마서가 인지미지 와 나서 농지 쳐먹고 말했어 장마서야 농지 쳐먹고 말이야 나서 소소 라바이나 동바이나 마 취해 장마 주네 도로 니바이나 개요만 장마 주제는 되고서 그 디제바이나 나서 두비 쳐봐라 누구래 그 가쇼지 하서 로바체 나서 가쇼지 하서 장다 쳐고 싶어 다 소소고 취해 줘야라 가쇼 기하도 저거 마음을 치고를 취해줘야라 선지 전지스 뭐 마음을 저거 치고를 그 가쇼 기하도 취해주는 거 하고 싶어요. 취해지네. 와. 이제 순자. 이제 뭐 지금 순자. 이 개체도 도서를 예스 간다.
That's right. Yeah, so whatever you said is true. That what Buddhas sees, they will only see the purity. See the purity of the object, and they do not see the flawless aspect of the object. And so it's important for spiritual masters or for Dharma teachers, for Dharma practitioners. So when they practice Dharma, it's important to keep clean in terms of our hygienic aspect, or in terms of the environment as well. Because this story about Asanga meditating on Maitreya. So this story also tells the importance of keeping oneself, the practitioners oneself, and also the practice, the environment for the practice, keep the environment well as well is important to do so. So the story is Asanga meditate on Maitreya for 12 years in cave, and he did not see Maitreya for 12 years, and after 12 years, then only he saw Maitreya. Then he kind of complained to Maitreya that how come I meditated on you for so long already, and after 12 years later, only you show yourself. Then only I could see you. Then Maitreya said to Asanga that the first day you enter this cave and do the practice. From there on, I already with you all the times. I'm here all the times. So then Asanga asked, then Maitreya showed the proof to Asanga that these are the speeds that you spitted on me. So you spit, then all these you spitted on me. So to show the proof that I'm with you. The Maitreya is with Asanga all the time since the first day, and because of your spitting, and because of you do not keep the environment clean, therefore you do not purify your negativities, and therefore you didn't see me. So we as a Dharma practitioners, so such as for some who are not rich, then when we say keep clean and etc., it doesn't refer to you have to wear a nice quality and new clothes. So it can be old clothes, and however you wash the clothes clean, then you put on, then you come for the teachings. So it's not necessary that we must have. When we practice Dharma, we must be rich, etc. So it's not needed at all, required at all. And when we keep when we keep ourselves clean and also keep the teaching side clean as well. And as mentioned, when the teaching occasion is held, it's not necessary. Not only the human beings such as us come to listen to the teachings, and those deities on the white side, they will come for the teachings as well. And they put a lot of emphasis on hygiene. And if they, they will come to the teaching side, which is clean, and then they are there to offer their assistance to the practitioners, and then they will be pleased with those practitioners, and then they will offer assistance to the practitioners. So this is the importance why we have to keep oneself and the teaching environment clean.
goja pendo ingro this so sena san gro ta mi jobo de la kala te ba na kora to goja and so sena sa ta nga so sanji la shela pia de sanji to go to mo ra chi ta wa so shela pi sanji la me do pi ti chi wa de so de so dubi che ba so sena sa wa de sanji la in ma so shin shela so de mo so na ji ya tu pi mo wa de pi di so me se ke sanji kona so 다가 좀 제거이나 누구도 와서 니기자 말어 말어 산지대 따바리 띵인지세 누구제네 배 따바 여르러 와 난 안주스나 사치 간다 안주스나 사 세나 마사바이나 tinchi sena sa nga chi chosa il tinchi sena sa nga so chelo pia de chapia sorwa wa tinchi sena sa nga chi tinchi sena tinchi chosa nga chi dibachi wa nimbo to shito wa diresi so so chi de es sanji da ko chanza zama tu yoris zama ri chanza daba hanja mi so da so nga sho le se de be yerko.
Yeah, so oneself, we bathe ourselves clean and put on clean clothes and etc. Keeping the teaching environment clean is for oneself to accumulate merits. It's for oneself to accumulate merits, and so what you said is right. Buddha do not see the impurity, and they only see the purity of the object. And so for example, when we make offerings, when we give food to others, like for example, beggars and who do not have food, then you give them food, then they enjoyed it, then oneself accumulate merits, right, by giving the food to others, those in need. And when we make offerings to Buddhas, as a joke, it's not like they need our food, they are hungry, they need our food. So it's not like that. So when we make offerings to Buddhas, is for oneself to accumulate merits through making offerings to the Buddhas. It's not from the Buddha side they need our offerings, they are hungry, they need our offerings. So that is why we make offerings, food offerings, flowers offerings, fruit offerings to the Buddhas for the sake of oneself, to accumulate merits. And so Buddhas, they don't need our food, and Buddhas always enjoying the food of the substance of concentrations. So Buddhas always remain in that, enjoying the substance of concentrations. And so when we practice or say make offerings and etc., is to accumulate conducive conditions, accumulate merits, and that is the conducive conditions. And at the same time, purify our negativities, and that is the unconducive conditions. So for those, for purifying our negativities, then we have to apply the four opponent powers as mentioned.
Yeah, thank you. Good question.
Come on,
And can I ask a question? Ken?
Please.
Can you ask Gishila? We don't have time to do a Vajrasattva retreat, but we do minimum 28 times recitation. So I'm just wondering, it's so difficult for us to purify. how to say, to purify efficaciously. Can you ask Geshe-la to give us a method that we can purify, that we can do Vajrasattva practice effectively?
Yeah, 另外就그래서就是先把个内容的参内容加推出面上，加了加推出面上，因为你们打把的就是先把个俺的参与去执行的3个月，可是我做个第八的的可是可是太阳啦的咖喱卡布有的咖喱卡布有的啥，因为的其实那个因为我做第八的可是加进步太个特殊技术难上。
다 디파 자 첨부다 디파 컨디지면 컨디에 마이나 당아서 nem부 도시 디기 토네 디파 다마도 지요 말해서 아서 nem부 도시 디 토네 가서 체 디타가라서 디파 kan가 다 투리 해서 와 딜을 하지 주니어서 nem부 도시 세디 nem부 도시 딜을 하지 디파 다 디요 말해서 딜스도
탑시 뒤로 이제라 탑시 뒤로
다시 아시드레스 nem부 도시든 디파 차든지
Yeah, so the best the best way to purify our negativities is to purify it with the 4 opponent powers. It purify our negativities by means of 4 opponent powers, and there is nothing greater than these 4 opponent powers that could purify our negative karma greatly.
Thank you. That's interesting.
That's all.
Thank you. To just stop here.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to watch it. I did it on the gates of the Latini. The Chitemba John Rodema. I don't know. The little she did want Mount the Miguelas of Maliwa. Then the answer is about new the trail in the dictionary. Woman, teacher,
So we'll conclude these sessions with dedications. So the merits accumulated through this Dharma discussion, these Dharma teachings. So may it be the complete cause for Buddha teachings to flourish. It may be the complete cause for sentient beings to have excellent happiness. We also dedicate these merits for the world peace, and may happiness prevail in the world. And may natural disasters and conflicts such as wars and etc. be immediately pacified. And may this pandemic be quickly pacified as well.
그님도 그래서 취소된 저와 토비 더 같이 체린데 버서 간다 세코 토마면서 디바가 다니 대간다 상지지 공부 미도 토바다 근데 무슨 내하는 연주들이 내가 같이 취소된 저와 토바 그래서 많이 시대가 반 미도 토 디지 비즈니스 봐 그런 지지요 쇼서 디 원에 지지
We also dedicate these merits for Dharma friends and for members and friends who have connections with the senders. And may those who already pass away, so may their negativities accumulated since beginningless time be purified, and may they quickly attain the state of enlightenment. Besides that, and there are those who have connections with the senders, they fell sick, and some of them they are hospitalized. So may they quickly regain health, and may their life be filled with excellent happiness.
Mudage Genius,
Sabi Giwadi, Tindam, Rua, Kunla, Kambenda, Kiba, Jisu, Losan, Java, Timi, Borindo, Seje, Shu, Semjo, Rimboche, Maki, Pana, Kikuchi, Kiba, Nyamba, Meba, Yankone, Kondo, Deva, Shu, Chida, Kiba, Kundo, Sambe, De, Ante, Shinde, Tida, Kungi, Jesu, Dalo, Kiwa, Tida, Samjera, Do, Rimboche, Maki, Pana, Kikuchi, Kiba, Nyamba, Meba, Yankone, Kondo, Deva, Shu, Rimboche, Maki, Pana, Kikuchi, Kiba, Nyamba, Meba, Yankone, Kondo, Deva, Shu, Ten Jambe, Kewe, Ten Sinkyo, Bewe, Kunse, Dobo, Zechu, Sum, Kuwe, Leme, Tuju, Dozo, Duje, Kendo, Chapte, Shu, Sundu, Jube, Lang, Chichi, Seze, Kanchen, Jendu, Gwen, Chana, Bimo, Ten Sinka, Sola, Soa, Dezo, Shendu, Dendo, Shu, Pende, Maleva, Kale, Joe, Sambe, Ishino, Katin, Sume, Ten Sinka, Sola, Soa, Dezo, Duje, Dendo, Shu, Kowe, Shinkan, Dependant, Dewa, Mali, Jungwe, Chere, Sewan, Ten Sinka, Zoe, Shabi, Site, Pado, thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe-la. Thank you.
Thank